The administration warning Democrats that benefits for the most vulnerable Americans is right now in jeopardy because they continue voting against reopening the government, now risking shutting down SNAP benefits along with those salaries. Also a turning point for Argentina overnight as voters give Javier Milei a historic win in the country's midterms, as well as a crucial vote in Congress that can now veto-proof his cost-cutting agenda. Joining us this morning to discuss the big headlines on Capitol Hill is Armstrong Williams. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
You know, Javier Milei's win in Argentina, also a victory for the administration. How pivotal was this for Trump?
Well, Trump gave them a break with the peso losing steam, $40 billion, but he demanded that they vote for him overwhelmingly to send him a message that they appreciate it and get how important it is to continue these reforms. And I guess they were listening to our president.
How will this affect our relationship with Argentina, and how will it affect foreign policy there in the region with other Latin American countries?
No, actually, Argentina, we have a very good relationship with them, especially with Milei. I don't know if you realize Milei was at Trump's inauguration. I think I ran into him and had a few words with him. He's so enthusiastic about the president, what he's doing, and he felt if the president supported him, they could impact the rest of that part of the world to show them what common sense things can do to drop inflation. Look at how much inflation has dropped in that country already, Jan.
Meantime, here at home, speaking of inflation, the government shutdown reaching a critical stage with SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps, now in jeopardy beginning this Saturday, beginning November 1st. That's when all that funding runs out. How do you see this playing out?
I'm optimistic, believe it or not. I think the Democrats do not want to cross this Rubicon. It's too costly. Right now, they think they're enjoying the fact that the Republicans are blamed for this shutdown, and they realize that opinions can change on a dime.
All right, Armstrong, I understand you were in New York this past weekend with some insiders there in the FBI, and you've been following this massive NBA scandal. What did you find out from this past weekend while you were there?
You know, the biggest shoes have not dropped yet, Jan, and what we forget is that this has been going on a long time, and a lot of these athletes and these coaches are just bored, and it's not always about the money. Their passion is gambling, playing poker, raising the stakes, and so obviously some find a way to monetize it. But it's so corrupted. What do you think's going to happen once you allow this kind of gambling in sports? And let me just tell you, here's the big thing: it's not just in the NBA; it's also in the NFL and all sports. It's just waiting for the shoes to drop, Jan.
You say it's been going on for a long time. So why do you think now there's this massive investigation?
Well, no, not just now. The Biden administration started this investigation in 2019, and obviously they did not go forward with the indictments, but Kash Patel and the FBI just continued this investigation, and they had the evidence and everybody's source, and they had people within the system that were wearing mics that gave them the details that they needed to go ahead and drop the bomb.
So it began in 2019. Why do you think the Biden administration was not able to secure indictments then? Why didn't they move forward, do you think?
You know, you never know, but let's give them credit for starting an investigation. You know, if it started under Biden, it tells you how serious it was. The fact is that Patel and his FBI is bringing closure to it and trying to return some kind of morality and some kind of decency and ethics in all sports. I mean, this is something that is needed. Unfortunately, it comes at a huge price.
Yeah, and when you say the big issues haven't even dropped yet, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about more coaches, more players?
Marquee, major players, Jan. I mean, major.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
When do you think this is all going to come to a head? What's the timeline?
It's coming. They're just negotiating whether or not to pull the trigger, whether they can save some of these all-star athletes without going public to indict them. A lot of stuff is going on behind the scene that we're unaware of.
All right. Washington insider Armstrong Williams, I look forward to hearing more about this. I'm sure we'll be talking about it in the future. Thanks for joining us this morning here on the National News Desk. Have a good one.